Students who study music tend to have larger vocabularies and more advanced reading skills than their peers. Students who play a musical instrument are more likely to excel in other studies, work better in teams, have enhanced critical thinking skills, stay in school, and pursue farther in their education. Why are you drawn to taking band classes?
I'm drawn to taking band classes because I like music. Music's been a part of my life for a number of years. Music helps people express themselves, and it's very important in everybody's lives.
And Nathaniel, what is the most important thing you have learned by taking band classes?
The most important thing that I've learned is probably teamwork, because you can always do something cool by yourself, but anything that, you think of a lot of things that have been recorded or that people actually listen to a lot. That's more than one person in a cooperative effort.
Why do you think your content area is an important part of a student's education?
Music as a performance class provides, it requires performance right now. In other words, there's no theory about it. It's not like you're sitting in a classroom and saying, well, someday you're going to use this. In music, you're using it right now, and you're being expected to perform right now. And you're being expected to perform in a group with students that you may or may not know very well or may not like, but you're required to make a group product right away, and that's something that other classes just can't offer.
All right, what makes your content area different than other content areas?
Well, in addition to performing, obviously other classes, they don't take tests in front of parents, but our content or our curriculum changes every year. The core concepts are the same, but if I want to change the music to teach the same concept, I can do that.
Research shows that musical tones are to the brain as exercising is to the body.
What is the most important thing you have learned by taking chorus?
It has taught me how to not sing in a bad pitch, and also to sing in a better key, and how to listen to dynamics.
Do you believe that any student could use your class?
Yes. I'm a firm believer that you don't have to be a good singer to be in chorus. I like it that a lot of people take it, even if maybe they're not the world's best singers. I don't think that that's what's important. Just the exposure to the music and being around it and hearing it and being part of the group, I think, is even more important than just musical talent. Some people don't really sing really loud or contribute a lot, but I think it's still great that they're here and hear the music every day and get that experience of working together and that experience of performing.
Students taking courses in music performance and music appreciation scored higher in the SAT than students with no art participation.
What is the most important thing you have learned by taking drama classes?
It's helped me with public speaking and being in front of people and being able to use my stage voice.
Do you believe that any student could use your class?
Yes, I do. Even if you're not planning to become a performer, there are times when you need to, in anybody's life, that you need to know how to become something that you're not. For example, I'm a teacher, and when I get up in front of my own peers, when I start talking, when I'm up in front of other teachers, I start talking, I have to put on a totally different persona than who I actually am, because I get nervous. I don't like being critiqued by others, and so having the ability to become the character that does stand up in front of their peers and says, hey, this is what we're going to do today, or even to stand up in front of a classroom of people younger than me. I'm not naturally the person who wants to be center of attention, so I what I teach is the idea of putting on a new persona. So I know that I use it. I know that anybody at any point in time, you know, might need to figure out a way to put on a new character. You know, you might not be most confident speaker. Well, if you can put on that character and give a presentation, it gets you the A, right? So there's definitely value in what I teach for anyone.
Boston is home to the first cooking school. The first cooking school opened in 1800. This was Boston, Massachusetts. It was named Boston Cooking School. It prepared students to be able to cook American cooking and to teach others about the art of cooking. What is the most important thing you've learned about taking culinary classes?
Just to care about what you're making. If you don't like it, nobody else will like it.
So you take classes just because you want to make food for other people, pretty much.
Yeah.
The first question is, what do you find unique about your content area you teach the students?
In my content area, I know absolutely that every student who takes this class will apply the content in their life. Everyone will cook and eat, and even if they eat in a restaurant, there's still a curriculum area that they were going to utilize. Of course, most of the classes in the culinary area are going to also teach them how to cook, so that they have the skills to make choices, you know, so they're not forced just to eat the food that somebody else prepares for them.
Our education requires students to use their eyes and hands to give form to ideas generated in the brain. Most children and youth spend 10 hours per day in front of screens composed of pictures and words, often two types of screens at once. The truth is that learning to paint, create a website, or design an energy-efficient home requires mastering skills which are often invisible to the naked eye but are developed through a strong visual arts education.
What do you find unique about your content area you teach to students?
Teaching art is different than teaching other content areas. Like if you go into a math class, it's usually very structured about getting help with learning how to do the math problems and then doing your homework and then checking your homework for understanding. And everyone in this room has to come up with the same answer for it to be correct. In the art room, if I have 23 students sitting in the seats, there are 23 correct answers to any project problem that I hand out to my students.
Do you believe that any student can use your class?
Absolutely. Every one of us is wearing art every day. We just don't realize it. Be it the design on our t-shirt, or say the patterning on our scarf, or the texture of our sweater. Every one of us is wearing art every day. Someone had to design the chair that I'm sitting in. Someone had to design the camera that you're using to record this interview. Art is everywhere. And as long as we can all understand and appreciate that art that is around us, then each of us can be a better consumer of art once we've taken an art class.